Aimilia, to all of you. Of course, I had met her when we were doing a fireside chat session for another session, and that's when I got to know about her. She had moved from academia to industry. It's been quite some time already that she has moved from academia to industry since 2015. So she's been in the corporate industry for about 8 years now. She holds a Ph.D. in human-computer interaction from the University of Bristol, UK. Her mission is to help create digital products and services that offer the best possible user experience, considering obviously business goals and other constraints. And she's very experienced in giving effective and efficient solutions for design problems through research, ideation, prototyping, and user testing. So her main thing is that when she moved from academia to industry, obviously there were a lot of changes which she has experienced. That what are some things which she learned in academia which she could bring into the industrial corporate industry, while there are some things where she had to learn new. And a lot of people ask her this questions, that how easy or how difficult is it to move from academia to industry. And that's what she wants to actually share with us today on her learnings and on her experience about this change which she made in her career. So you, and please take the seat. Yeah, you can share your screen using the share screen as well.
We missed the last part, Sanchita, but I think you said over to me. So
yes, that's right. yes.
So
and
I should be. Can I share my screen now, Harris? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. So let me. Okay. Everyone's seeing my slides. Is that right?
Yes, that's showing.
Yeah. Okay. So many thanks to Sanchita and Harris and everyone involved in making this happen for inviting me. I was thrilled to get the invitation. And while I was searching for a topic to talk about, Sanchita suggested, why not talk about this? And I thought it was great because I've never really talked about how it was to move from academia to industry. Although many people are curious, I haven't had that many questions about specifics, how it happened and, the struggles, etc. So I thought that, yeah, it's interesting. And lately I've seen many other people trying to move or thinking about moving, at least on LinkedIn, and asking for advice on how to do it. So I think the timing is right. The tech industry is flourishing at the moment. AI is here and things are exciting. So thanks for having me. Okay, let's start. This is who I am. Sanchita already made the introduction, so nothing to add here. I got my PhD a while ago. That was in 2001, so feels like ages. Spent around 14 years in academia in various ranks and universities. I learned a lot, but there was a point where I felt that something was missing, that maybe I'm meant to be doing something else. So I'll walk you through my story basically, and feel free to ask anything you like. What were the early signs? So what was in my mind at the time? This was about 2013. I started becoming interested in entrepreneurship, and I was reading about it a lot. I found stories fascinating, success stories, failures, and so on. But the way small companies, startups worked, and generally how they operated was very, very interesting to me. Also, I liked applied research. So I felt like I was more myself when I was involved in research projects that had human subjects. We were testing with real people. And I have here an example of one of my last research projects using VR to help autistic kids cross pedestrian crossings. So I started to realize that I really enjoyed working with people and seeing the impact of my work, my research, my work in general. So I was attracted to the real world, and that made me think some more. But as you all know, it never crossed my mind that I had an option to change careers. All my life, I thought that, okay, once you enter academia, you stay there forever, because who would want to leave? And however, I had second thoughts. So maybe there is a way out. Maybe there are options. And then at some point, I came across this. Design Your Life, D-School, Stanford. I came across this online. I mean, I didn't go to Stanford. But I saw Design Your Life and I thought, sounds interesting. Reading about it, this was a program that started in 2010, and they designed this to help young people entering university and trying to figure out which major they're going to take, career paths, and so on, to help them be less anxious about their options and try to find, what really is meant, what they really like to do, and so on. It was a huge success. It's still a huge success. They've written a couple of books even on the topic. And what this is about is applying design thinking to your life and your career. That was intriguing for me. So I spent a lot of time looking it up. And so basically what they're trying to say is that you can follow these steps and apply them to your career. So the design thinking process, basically. So to empathize, understand your strengths, so instead of users, your strengths, your interests, your values, define your goals, define the problem to define your career goals and aspirations, ideate, generate the range of possible career options. So multiple ideas on the table, and then you pick the one that you feel has most potential, and you prototype that. That's what you do in design thinking. So you prototype that, get feedback, you iterate, and you know how it goes. Reflect and adjust accordingly. So it started making sense. How did I interpret this in simple in simple terms. It's time to think about me and what I want. So this was something that I wasn't really doing. I was just going along with things, and I hadn't really stopped to think, is this who I am, what I want, etc. So this was the opportunity. Most importantly, that I can try new things at a small scale with low risk and lots of insights. This hadn't crossed my mind before. I thought that it's black or white. But this taught me that you can try something out at a small scale, see how it goes, see if it works, see if you like it or not, and then assess, adjust, and repeat, iterate, do it again until I find what makes me happy. So this philosophy, going back to what the D School suggests and proposes, is that you try something and you learn. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't. If you like it, you proceed, you iterate, you refine, and so on. So this takes away a lot of stress and anxiety, and if this is the right solution, if this is the right path, what if I'm wrong? What if I should be doing something else? So this takes away a lot of that stress and leaves room for experimentation. And I love that idea that I can experiment and try it out, see if it works. So the first step was to obviously, make things clear. Who am I? What I want? What are my strengths? What's my situation like? Because I always say that if you read blog posts, chances are, the author who wrote it was not in your situation. I mean, their situation was very, very different than yours. So it's not always, you can't always generalize and apply what they say to you. So I wanted to be really honest and assess my situation and what I see myself doing in the next 10 years. This particular point was interesting because I realized that I didn't see myself in academia in the next 10 years. And that really made me, motivated that I need to see what else is out there. What were my feelings and thoughts at the time? Obviously, this didn't happen in a day. And I was thinking of various things that I wasn't really happy with, and some of them are here. I felt like, because I was teaching human-computer interaction and generally computer science students or design students that were going to go out in the real world. And I didn't feel that I had the experience to help them out with that transition, leave university and enter the job market. That I didn't like. I felt that I should be able to help these kids. What we teach in academia does not prepare UX designers to enter the job market, meaning the curriculum, because things change very slowly in academia, at least around the area that I'm in. They don't change, they don't follow developments that much. It's difficult. Things are more difficult to change. So, and also chasing grants and having your success tied to number of publications and the grants you get, I didn't really feel that's fair. I didn't feel that was fair to have someone's worth tied to those numbers. Also, in academia, you specialize in a very, very specific, most of the times, very narrow area, which is just the way things are, and you become an expert on that. That's fine. But I felt that I wanted to learn more. I mean, I wanted to learn about a broader subject, and I wanted to have more experiences. And here and there, I didn't really like to be so hyper specialized on a particular topic. I also was worried about whether my skills were transferable. What happens if I lose my job in academia? What are my options? Do I have options? I had a family to support, so I needed options, and not having options didn't make me very comfortable. And also transferable skills. I was thinking about that. How transferable are my skills? Research, tech, can I use these skills somewhere else? And finally, I didn't like academic politics. I just they're not something that I never participated in, and I felt like I wanted to stay away from all of that. So going back to prototyping, which was fascinating. Okay, I thought next step is to find a way to prototype a move to industry. What would that look like? How can you do that? Small scale moves. I had been following advances for a while. You know how it is. If something really interests you, you read about it, you look into it, you learn more. So that was an indication for me. I made contacts, especially in entrepreneur cycles, and I realized that startups are more flexible and willing to listen to people that have value to bring. Bigger corporations are obviously less flexible because they want to see, proven experience that you can do this, that, and the other. But startups are more open. I also found the area that was closer to what I was doing. That was UX research. Research was there. Users were there. I dealt with users. I dealt with users and experiments lots of times. So I felt that it was the best fit. However, I did sense that there were some gaps, perhaps in my knowledge of how things worked in industry, methodologies, how things were done. So I did read up and took quite a few courses online, obviously, to become more confident on anything that I felt I was not good at. Then I needed an opportunity. Okay, I prepared myself. So where do I start? How do I do this? For me, it was a 6-month sabbatical leave from my academic position. I waited until I was entitled to one. Obviously, you can't take a sabbatical whenever. It has to be at a particular point in time after a number of years, etc. So I waited until that point. I prepared with networking, like I said earlier. And I used that to approach a company, Proto.io, which was near me. It was in the city that I lived. It was a startup of 12 people and offered my help without any commitment. So I was on sabbatical and I just, made a proposal. I'd like to help you in this and that way. They thought it was a great idea. Why not? Let's try it out. And this is how I started without any commitment. Then I also used my network of friends and collaborators and spent some time in another two companies or centers. One was SAP in Germany, and the other one was LearnWorlds in Dublin. I think my friend Evan is in the audience, so thank you, Evan, for everything. These were simply amazing experiences. I learned a lot. I learned about how things work in big corporations like SAP and the smaller lab center, research center, working on research projects exclusively. Both experiences were invaluable. I got to see things that you can't read about, you can't learn about. So it became quickly apparent to me that that was what I was looking for. I spent around a week or 10 days in each company. What did I like? So this was the prototype part. And then I thought, okay, let's evaluate what happened. Did I like it? Did I not like it? I did like most of the things that I experienced. I liked the dynamic and fast-paced nature. I liked meeting people from different disciplines, working as a team with a common goal, which was something that I really missed in academia, because everyone's doing, or in most places, everyone's doing their own thing and specializing and having their own lab with their own students and so on and so forth. But I really enjoy collaborating and having a common goal with other people. Sharing ideas and not keeping ideas to yourself. Seeing tangible results of efforts, and also your work being experienced by real users and not just writing a paper and then writing the next paper and the next paper and so on. After coming back from those two visits, I continued offering my services to Proto.io, and I got a full-time position there. I still didn't cut all ties with academia. I took an unpaid leave for a year, which I was allowed to do. And so that I was like 101% sure that it was the right thing to do, I guess. I worked there for that year, and I really liked the fact that at a startup you wear many hats, you do many things and help in any way you can. I never went back, obviously. I resigned from university. I stayed there 6 years, the last 4 as a UX manager. And I'm eternally grateful for that opportunity, obviously. Later on, I wanted my next move to be in product design. Product design was not a thing when I first started. It was more like UI and UX, and that's it. Product design became more popular in the recent years. I attended more courses that I felt were helpful. Then an offer from LearnWorlds came along. I really liked the culture, the product, the team, and I've been there for 2 years and I've been learning a lot. It's been fantastic. I came to realize after a lot of introspection that what really matters to me is being at a place that I feel that I can grow as a professional and work with like-minded people. It might have sounded like things were smooth along the way, but they were not. There were a lot of setbacks during these, say, 8 years. There's a lot of competition. There was a lot of competition, and there is a lot of competition. That makes you feel a bit insecure coming from a different background. You need to prove yourself. Imposter syndrome. Should I be here? Do I deserve this? Etc. And then people's reactions were unbelievable. Like, you're never going to make this. What are you doing? What can you offer? There's so many other people that are more experienced. Why would they hire you, etc., etc.? And the list goes on. But you always get those voices anyway in anything. If you try to change, you always get those voices from people around you, and also family obligations that didn't allow me that much spare time in weekends or evenings. But I'm really stubborn and I persisted. I knew that it would be really difficult, but because you need to prove yourself, people are skeptical, you appear to be different. I dropped the Ph.D. after my name because people, felt uncomfortable. So I dropped that entirely. Wasn't necessary in that context anyway. I only recently added it back because I feel that, it's me. So I'm happy about it, and I'm happy to be, authentic. What's better in industry, in my opinion, at least? Well, basically everything that I express here is my point of view. I mean, there are many other people that don't feel the same way, but this is the way I feel. There's a potential for faster career growth in the tech industry. I think that performance is valued and success is measured by your performance and your outcomes, the value you bring to the product, to the company, etc. I feel this is fairer than the way academia works, or the way they evaluate success. There are various career paths and opportunities, so you can move one direction or the other, or change. You can go towards management or stay in something more applied. You don't have those options in academia. There's just one path, and you follow that. There's potential for global mobility and ability to work and relocate. That was really important for me. Things on global economy back then was not doing that great, I remember. And I was feeling rather insecure. So what happens if we have to move somewhere else? What would be my options? Would I be able to find a job somewhere else? And there was the pandemic came later, so this was not part of my reasoning yet. The industry demand, the demand in tech sector for UX people is so huge at the moment. Tech professionals in general, but UX in particular, or product design, there's so many startups looking for talent, and you feel that there is a momentum. For me, this is very, very exciting to be part of this momentum, and AI coming along and disrupting everything. I got my PhD from an artificial intelligence group, and I remember graduating and thinking, who would ever hear the word artificial intelligence again? Maybe a research lab or something. And here we are, 22 years later, having AI at the forefront, which is absolutely fantastic. It's an exciting time, and I'm really happy to be part of it. Jacob Nielsen, that you all know, said that we're seeing the next UI paradigm after command-based interaction design. This is intent-based outcome specification. So this is a new thing that needs to be defined. It's not yet defined, and we're going to be part of this new paradigm. Again, very exciting. Another important aspect, for me at least, was work-life balance. I find it that I can balance work and family much better now. I can say that work stops here and family starts. Whereas before, I was on the constant lookout for becoming better and better, and writing more and publishing more and getting more grants. And I never really felt that, I was enough. Nothing was enough. There was always more and more and more. I was very tiring for me. Also, flexible work schedules, remote work options, very important when you have a family. And it was very, very useful during the pandemic. Tips. What are some tips that I would give anyone who was thinking of doing the same? Network with industry professionals, not only with academics. Go to conferences or meetups or events where industry professionals hang out and talk about more real life projects. Network locally, if possible. If you network locally, you get to be known locally, and that is important. People trust and trust the ones they've met before, and they might ask for your opinion, they might ask for your help. If no one knows you, then it's really, really difficult to all of a sudden, look you up and reach out, etc. Offer your help. This is important. I know you read these things in blog posts, and you have to do unpaid work sometime, or pro bono, but I consider it offering help you get a lot. You get a lot of value and experience. So, and also gain experience through internships or side projects as much as you can. Online courses are a must for me because the advancements are so many, happening so fast that you need to be up to date with the latest trends. Be willing to constantly learn new things. Update your resume and tailor for industry positions. Industry doesn't care about publications. This is reality. They don't. They perhaps find it interesting that you could spend time on a particular project and analytical skills and things like that. But the actual number of publications and where they were published might not be that meaningful to them. Depends, of course, depends on where you want to, which place you want to target. Maybe they are important. Be prepared for many rejections. But if you think about it, everyone, even if you don't move from academia to industry, even if you were from the very beginning in industry, you get a lot of rejections. It's just the way it works. Don't take it personally. Be firm, be persistent, and never doubt your worth. This is your life and you're in control. So do what you want. And this is a quote that I really like from Anais Nin. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Aimilia, for sharing your personal story on moving from academia to industry, as well as the tips to on how to succeed. Yeah. So I think Harris dropped a message to everyone in the group chat. So for now, just wanted to check if anyone has any further questions. Yeah. I think in the meantime, just wanted to share that it was very interesting, and personally, for me, like I liked how you suggested, adapting design thinking and the different steps of design thinking into our own personal life and career. So prototyping a move into an industry, or the iteration process, implementation of it, and then the reiteration again to reassess and adapt accordingly. So I think it just it's not a question, but I guess like this session just reminded me that we're always on a learning journey to better understand ourselves and work towards our career aspirations. So yeah, I hope everyone here enjoyed the session as well. Yeah. Okay, so if there are any other further questions, please feel free to unmute. We will give it a short while. Okay, yeah, in the meantime, thank you, Aimilia, for this sharing. And just to share with you, we also did a live stream of this session as well. So there were people on the live stream session who might not be on this Zoom recording. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Aimilia? If not, I think for now I think there aren't any questions. So if it's okay, we can also proceed to close this session as well. Yeah.
What I wanted to say is, like, following up on your comment, is that the design thinking principles are indeed very interesting if you apply them. The fact that you can take a step towards something, a small step, and see whether you like it or not. Allow yourself permission to fail is something that we don't always do. We're afraid to take the step. We are afraid of the unknown, but if it's just a small step, then it's not that scary. So you can try it out, see if you like it, and take it from there. It's a very simple principle, but it's not always obvious. Not everyone does that.
Yeah. Oh, Sabina, she left a comment. So she said, thanks for the talk. Any particular online courses that you could recommend for UXR? So UXR, I'm assuming is UX research. Yeah.
I'm not working in UX research anymore. I do product design right now. So I don't know what the best courses would be for UX research, but I can look it up and get back to you.
Yeah. Sabina, hope that helps to answer your question for now.
Yeah, Sabina, I can send you some pointers, some links, maybe on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. She says thank you and she will follow up. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you too.
Okay. For now, if there are no further questions, we can proceed to close this session. But again, if there's any questions, everyone please feel free to reach out to Aimilia as well on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Definitely. I'll be happy to chat further.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Harris has provided her LinkedIn profile in the chat group. Okay, thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aimilia. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Aimilia. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.